technology. Innovative content. Global audience.
Innovative content, global audience, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daddy Chris, and you can see the screen. We are ready. It's a full house, ladies and gentlemen, first of its kind. That today we are gathered. In fact, when God said, when 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, things gonna happen. Today we are gathered in the name of Nollywood. We are gathered here. It's a privilege to be in the presence of these great people. I can tell you right now, I'm in the presence of greatness. Right on the screen with me, you have the Dr. Victor Okai. He's the president of the Directors Guild of Nigeria. He's right here with us. And hello, Sir Victor. You're welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And right next to Doctor is Ambassador Queen Blessing Ebiagbo. You see, I know how to pronounce that name better, but I'm not going to bother with that tonight. She's going to smile.
A big yes too.
When she speaks, you know the name will be louder than you think. All right, she is the president of the Producers Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria. Queen, you're welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
See, voice is always solid. And of course, my right-hand man is here. You see, without him, there will be nothing. Joe, Ambassador Joe. It's gonna, the name I pronounce, sometimes I fail, sometimes I pass. Joe, you're welcome to the platform.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be with you, with everybody.
Yeah, all right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Daddy Chris. You all know me. But tonight, we're really going to just, like I said, we're in the presence of greatness. We've been dissecting a little bit on where Nollywood is, where we're coming from, where we are. In terms of productions, we've been talking to the producers, and in terms of our creativity, the director is here. But we're going to be linking this to what we have at hand, and that is the Nigerian Week, which is coming out in London. They will be joining me, hopefully, to work on something very, very important. We call it the Nigerian Film Fund. We're not going to discuss all that tonight, but we're here to discuss Nollywood in the simplest form of it. Right? To kick off the show, I'm going to give the privilege to our producers. You see, let the producers, because they are the chairmen. They call the shot. You see, in a way, it's a funny thing that directors are the boss. Sorry, sir, doctor. But directors are the boss on set. They're the people that actually call the shot are the producers. So let's start with the producers. You guys control the money. You make the thing happen. So producers, you guys have done well, to be honest. You've done well in the Nigerian industry. So we want to thank you for doing that. Yes, we're
thank you very much. Thank you.
The amount of creativity you guys have brought into Nollywood is on. In fact, we can't talk about it in a book. But that being said, we're coming from a very far place. Not very far, because Nollywood is like. So let me start by asking you this: do you think, or would you agree that Nollywood happened by accident? Let's go back to the history.
Okay, so if you look at when Nollywood started, Nollywood has been around since the 1960s, even before the independence. You know, but if you say Nollywood started by accident, I can agree in a way, because in the 90s, some people came together and felt to themselves they wanted to do films to entertain their friends and, of course, put in the Nigerian market. You know, people like Edu Goma, you know, Ola Balogun and co, and you know that started, and they just made film for the fun of it, you know. So if you say it started by accident, in a way, I would say you're correct.
Amazing, and to be honest, we've done very well. We've done very well. Here we are. Now we are the second. Let's not give ourselves the third, because we are the second largest movie producers worldwide. And
no, but that's what it is. We are the second largest when it comes to, I always tell people, I said, when it comes to quantity, Nigeria is the second largest after America. After that, after Hollywood, Nigeria is the second largest. But Indians will tell you they are the second. But Indians are not making up to what we're making when it comes to films. I can tell you for free, in Nigeria, almost every year, we're rolling up more than 2,000 to 3,000 movies every year. In Lagos, for instance, every month we're shooting close to maybe 400 films. In Asaba, the same thing. these are the hubs where they really make films monthly. You can, check the statistics and, just do a Google search and you find out all these things I'm saying. So if you put that together, it's safe to say that in Nigeria, yearly, we're rolling out over 2,500 films. And I don't see anybody making so much films as we are making. What you can argue is that, are we making the quality we should be making? And I can say, yeah, we're trying. Unlike before, we have films that can match up with any film anywhere, whether in Hollywood or in Bollywood. We have producers that have been able to stick out their neck, to take loans and what have you, to make those films that can stand anywhere and compete. But yes, we also have low quality films, films from producers who are still trying to get to that point where they make very big films. And that's because we don't have source of funding. Most of the time we're funding these films ourselves. So
Yes.
anybody that will come and tell you we're making more quality films is because they have access to funding, whereas we are taking loans and doing everything possible to just make sure that we're in business. So yes, you can argue it, but that it is what it is.
We'll be coming back to the business side of it later, Queen, because the funding is very important. And it's good you mentioned
Yeah.
that. But now you mentioned the issue of quality. I'm going to quickly bring in the director Gibbs in because it started very well. And it's, to be fair, we're still doing well. Oh, wow. We have a lot of people in the house. Sunny Danger is here. Sunny Danger is here. Ambassador Follis is here. Just set your cameras and I'll add you onto the show. Onto the show. Yes. Now that we're talking about the quality of films produced, it is, for me, the movie we are making is for consumption. As long as we can see and the story is being passed across, for me, I'm happy. Gradually, we're going to get to what Nollywood put the best sound, the best picture. We're getting there. But I'm going to throw that question immediately to the director, the president of the Directors Guild, Dr. Victor Kai, to give us his insight, why he think, his assessment of the current production in terms of quality and what we need to do to get it better, or if we are satisfied with where we are. Over to you, sir. Why add Sunny Danger? Sunny Danger.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I just want to think in a little bit of perspective.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
In terms of
Yes, we are with you, Sunny Danger. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Yes.
Hey, good evening. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. The president is speaking. Yes, sir.
So, just want to say that we're actually number 2, but it's Hollywood that is number 1 in terms of quality. Hollywood is number 3. It's according to UNESCO statistics. Hollywood produces all the money, but they are ranked below Nollywood. Bollywood are
boss, doctor, can you speak louder so we can hear you, so all people can hear you?
I'm saying that just to put things in proper perspective,
Yeah.
they are number 2, but it's actually Bollywood number 1.
Okay.
And Bollywood comes after Nollywood in terms of quality, the UNESCO
Statistics. Okay.
So, but in terms of where we're at, in terms of quality, it's important to note that Nollywood created the disruption in the film ecosystem. When the rest of the world was shooting on celluloid, we didn't have money, which seemed like an advantage at the time. But that was also the time other technologies were coming up, leading into digital technology. And so we had to make do with what we had. At the beginning, we started with pneumatic,
Yes.
and embraced, were early adopters of digital technology.
Yes.
At the time, the world was but as you know, with every form of innovation and disruption, you never see it coming. No? So at that time, we took our time because ever since then, our ancient was basically stories, our stories. That's what everyone was interested in. And so we were telling our stories, and people were consuming these stories, At the time, quality didn't matter, but that also gave us the opportunity to be able to improve on the arts and the culture. And so eventually, all came to join us in digital technology. But by then, we were looking ahead, particularly on the continent here in Africa. We had established ourselves very firmly. Our works were already across the globe. You know, the diaspora, people were consuming Nollywood products across Africa, Nollywood products. So we had established ourselves and we have come to stay. Now, as you know, with any innovation, it starts out with baby steps, but eventually it improves and then it gets better. Today, particularly platforms that have taken us to a global stage, and with I want to find the democratization of digital technology. Everyone has equal access right now. It's not so expensive anymore. You can matter of fact, let me bring it down to the barest form. If your phone, for instance, you can write your script, shoot, edit, upgrade, and distribute without going out of your phone, and even receive payments without stepping out of your phone. Okay, so what it has now done for us is, I mean, that's at one level, but now we have access to the same technology that people have, and our people are able to YouTube and film school, universal film school, so to speak. A lot of people, even go to the formal film, have learned, you know, through YouTube and on the job. And today, from what you can see on Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, so you can see now that able to film that can compete for the global level if you have the budget of the budget that you know, the Western have. Just access funding, but in terms of technique, I think we're getting there. We have arrived at much of that.
Thank you, sir. So the sound is a little bit of a challenge right now. I hope everybody can get with us. But from what Doctor has, from what UNESCO record, which Doctor has just briefed us, Bollywood is number one in terms of quantity, and then we follow number two, and America's three, because they spend so much in the movie, they can't turn out the movies they are turning out. It's understandable. Anyway, but at the end of the day, we have to commend ourselves, and back to Madam Queen, we've got to commend ourselves for creating an industry without what I would call more or less no support. In the country where we live here, in the UK, we have a lot of support. If you want to make a film, you write a story, you can right from development, there's a body you go to, they will support you. And then if they like the story, they will give you money to produce the film, even give you money to distribute the film. If I make a film in England and I'm going to a film festival, I will go to them and say, I'm going to Soso Film Festival, and I will get some little support. Unfortunately, that is not in place in Nigeria yet. Let me quote this, yet you guys created an industry which is now global. And I don't know how it happened, to be honest. It's a miracle. Just for you to know, Queen, we don't have industry in the UK, because a film industry is only when you can make film and survive, not when you go to somewhere to collect money and make a film. You guys make film, you feed yourself and feed the nation, more or less. Nobody can take that away. We're grateful. So the question I will ask now is, in terms of funding, understand? How do you manage to do this? It's unbelievable. How do you people raise money to make films in Nigeria? In fact, go.
So, like I said before, Nollywood producers are the most strongest producers you can find in any part of the world. Nigeria is number one when it comes to doggedness. Our producers are not lazy people. We go all out to make sure that we get funding for our films. And most of the time we do, like, for instance, take me for example, I've been able to shoot 14 films to my credits as regards to my production company. And how I was able to do that was me and some of my friends, we agreed and said to ourselves, we're going to be doing crowdfunding. So every month, all of us put monies together. One person shoots that film, and the film becomes that person's own. And then the next month, we do the same for the next person. Before you know, all of us became big producers, And so and that was because we had taken loan from the bank a couple of times to make film. And sometimes it didn't really end well. Sometimes you had to finish paying the loan before you can even sell your film, because we're still lacking market for film. Even though, yes, we have Netflix, we have Amazon, we have YouTube and all of that, we still don't have enough market to distribute the products we're dishing out. Like I said, we're making a lot of films. And so because of that, we just go all out. Because of the passion that producers have, we go all out. And that producers are the ones that will pay everybody. So and nobody wants to hear you don't have money. Then there are some people that can say, okay, because I know you, let me come down. You can really say nobody is actually collecting what they deserve in terms of the workload that they do. The directors are not collecting up to what they deserve, because they will probably say, I know Queen, let me come down for Queen. We kind of help each other to make sure that we are pushing out these things. And I think it's about time that the government really gets involved. They're not doing enough. They tell us there are funding. They will tell you there's money in Bank of Industry, there's money in Nexim Bank for film, there's money here and there. We're not even able to access all these monies. And then sometimes, even when you approach the bank will tell you, we don't understand your business, so how do we allow you to take this loan? And then they ask you to bring collaterals like your house, your grandmother's head, and all of that. So you find that the only way we can actually get money is to just do this crowdfunding, and then either sell our properties to just do these films because we have passion for it. So for me, I think that if we have people, even if it's maybe the UK, for instance, filmmakers there want to collaborate with Nigerian producers, I think it's going to be like a very big deal. And that was why when you came up with your program, I was excited about it, because for producers, we keep looking for platforms where we can either get distribution, or we can get collaborations to make this film and make the kind of quality that we should be making. So I think that we have done so much for Nollywood. So far, Nollywood is adding 6.4 billion to Nigeria's GDP. That's a whole lot. And this is an industry that we have picked from nowhere just by ourselves doing this. Imagine if the government decide to pump in money, or we get collaborations from other countries. You can trust me, we're going to be adding more than the billions we're already adding now. And we're feeding a lot of families. Nollywood has actually put a lot of people in jobs. People that should have been armed robbers today have jobs, they have families, they have children. People that would have been prostitutes today are in the industry, they're working, they don't have any need to go astray anymore, because there is an industry that is providing work. So we just need government to look at us and say, you guys have tried, let's begin to really pump money. It's not enough to tell us money is somewhere. Bring the money, let's see how to access it, make it accessible for any producer who can show you that they belong to a notable and a credible association. Make that money available for a director who can show you that this is a film I want to make and I belong to a credible association. So an actor who tells you this is what I want to do, and as long as you belong somewhere and they can trace you to that place, I think that should be enough collateral. Not asking somebody to bring a house. How many producers have houses?
Thank you. I like that.
So that's what I think. I think we've done so much. Nigeria today, there are so many countries you go to, they have been able to speak our languages just because they're watching our film. They've been able to know how to eat our food just because they're seeing our film. And so we are shaping Nigeria. We're putting it in that global stage. They need to come and do something. We have tried. We've given up blood and sweat. Trust me.
No, I agree completely. And Queen, there's so many things here, so many things. And I don't think we'll have enough time to look at that. But Nigerian government, I hope they're listening, because there are too many things that Nigeria doesn't have a co-production treaty with any other country. Is a shame. Down to South Africa, they have co-production treaty with the United Kingdom and the rest of Europe. So coming there to film becomes easy. I had an encounter where I had to bring a production to Nigeria, but there was no production treaty with Nigeria. So that production couldn't take place because these people here, they make the money before they make the film, like I said. They're not like you guys who can raise money and do. But one thing you said, Queen, we need to clap for this. Like cooperative is something everybody needs to learn. They should pay us for this knowledge, Queen. So say crowdfunding is, you want to have, there is a cooperative. That is, you gather, you give one, she produce or he or she produce, the next time is somebody's else. That is a cooperative. And I think I cannot see anything better than that. And we cannot thank you much, Queen. But coming back to the issue of funding proper. But I know Sunny Danger is here. Only his phone is waving. That is the only problem. I wanted to hear from him because Sunny is an actor and a musician. And I'm sure there are many people that spice the industry in another angle. Sunny Danger, you're welcome to the show. Can you hear
Thank
me,
you very
sir?
much. Yeah, I've been listening all through, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
Now,
okay, the network can be tricky. We'll be patient with everybody tonight. You know, the Nigerian network sometimes can be funny, but we are on it. Okay, so for some reason, Queen is even having some network issue as well. We're gonna keep going and coming. We're here. We want to get to the
okay. The Nigerian movie industry,
yes.
we have like let me just say like just 10 to 15 producers that get their movies across. Well, we have more than like 3,000 other producers that after you have done your movie, then you don't even know where to take it to. And it's just like gamble. You do something. Government has a lot to do. Government has a lot to do because there's a way the government can intervene in any business that got to do with Nigerians. The government can intervene. The government can be the one to broker some deals based on using our own people that are in the system to guide them. Because government has a lot to do. For example, the Netflix, the Amazon, all the company.
Yeah.
It doesn't really doesn't do so much because with the help of the government, we get a lot of things done.
Yes.
The government can like expand the business.
Yes. And it's such a good industry that the government cannot even ignore. It would be wrong for any government to ignore the industry. Because like we said, a lot of prostitutes are now they're now movie stars, would-be prostitutes, would-be criminals are now, in fact, great men. And this is all credit. And we've reduced crime. I don't know how many crime we would have gotten without Hollywood and the music industry today. So we cannot thank you guys enough. And I think government that is going to come in. That's why we talk about the Nigerian Film Fund. We will be
Yes,
looking at
yes, that's what I'm saying. So
fortunately, the network is not friendly.
That like disturbing the country, and you see this business. The Nollywood is the only business that a baby of today, a baby that is born today, can be in Nollywood and make money from Nollywood. And as old as 100 years or 200 years, you can be in Nollywood and make money. So it's a business that that needs a lot of backing.
It employs people from across all board, and I agree. Old people, young, we have movie stars, young ones.
How would I put it? Support, a lot of support.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I think the government is willing. It's just having that understanding. Yes, we're with you, Sunny Danger. We're with you. I'm gonna quickly allow Joe. Yes, thank you so much. I really like that. The government support we're gonna get.
Thank you.
And we need to find a way to educate our government. Sometimes, don't forget, these guys are not professional filmmakers. So we need to explain to them that, like Queen has rightly said, this is what we contribute to the GDP. If you give us this, we're going to do more. And it cannot be better. If the government is now investing money so much on agriculture, they can understand that film can generate even the same money as agriculture. You understand?
Yes.
Because
yes,
it's employing so much, but in agriculture, you can get a loan for 8%. But there's nothing like that in film. Film is saying, Queen is saying you have to sell your property in order to get a loan. So we're gonna look at that carefully. But before we go further, let's hear from Joe. Ambassador Joe, I know you'll be listening. Let's quickly hear from you before we bring in Ambassador Felix, hopefully we can hear you well now, but let's hear from Joe quickly. Joe, sir. Now, we can't hear you, Joe. Your network, or what's this?
No, I muted myself so that
Okay,
background
good.
doesn't infiltrate while others were talking. I want to appreciate everybody for all that's been posited, and the various views that have been brought forth today. My input to the subject of discussion, I think, has been touched on by some of us here. First of all, you cannot give what you don't have, and unfortunately, we have had successive governments that do not, have interest in the sector, and they do not have what it takes for this industry to thrive. They do not know, in a nutshell, that this is even a bigger oil. The revenue that, this industry can bring to the country's GDP is so huge. Only if they know all of that and channel some interest and resources into it. And I want to agree holistically that this is why there's a need for this initiative that's been birthed right here at the Nigeria Week London 2023, the concept of the Nigeria Film Fund. With that in place, we'll be able to put the right structure in place where you have professionals, people who have the know-how, to be able to make this industry work. You have square pegs in square hole in terms of, personnel, in terms of human resources, in terms of, structuring the industry so that we can bring in the business side of the show,
Yes.
to be beneficial to the stakeholders, the practitioners. The era and the days and the years of Mokide work bamboo, the chop, can be eradicated. In UK here, for example, the United Kingdom, they have the British Film Fund. In America, they have the American Film Fund. These are all avenues where the government of the day, they empower the industry and make it work. Don't forget, it's not only just going to be beneficial to practitioners and stakeholders. It would also bring a lot of revenue generation, empowerment, employment, like Queen, Ambassador Queen mentioned earlier on. You find that people will become useful not only to themselves, to their family, but also to the society at large. The vices that we have in the society, the adult mind, we're told often, remains the devil's workshop. So if this industry is structured properly and you have the right set of people who have the professional knowledge, skill, experience, and the wherewithal, to organize it and to make it work, then we'll be singing a different song. Very shortly, we're going to have oil becoming a thing of the past, which Nigeria government over the years have seen to be the mainstay of the economy. Before the oil came, we have agriculture. I remember back in the 70s, OFN, we had Operation Feed the Nation. We had all of that. But immediately they discovered oil, they abandoned all of that, and the whole focus became on oil. In this day and age where we're living on, the world is moving very fast. Fossil fuel will become a thing of the past. We're in an era now where technology is taking over very fast. We'll be having driverless cars. We'll be having a lot of things that will be taken over by technology. Cars will not need petrol anymore, and other things that oil is used for, which, a lot of advanced nations see as detrimental to our environment or our people, will become something of the past. So the earlier the Nigerian government, for example, realizes that and put the right structure in place to be able to do this, the better. So I would want to just add to all that has been said that, it will be important because if there is no structure, there's no way we can have a right direction. And in all of this, it probably be a thing where they will have a good representation in the government cabinet, okay, where we can have somebody that adds a voice, that speaks on behalf of the industry, that's able to table subject matters of relevance, on behalf of the industry practitioners. That way, that's how this industry can be stabilized, can be structured, can become regulated. And look at what Netflix is doing to our industry. You know, the monkey, the what bamboo, the chop, that's where that fee comes in, because they are the guys who have the money.
Yes.
Iroko was there. Iroko came on and was doing our business. But here in the UK, we had Nollywood movies, television channel. We had our content there. But today, all of them have gone under because the high and mighty Netflix has come. So we are producing our movies. Queen mentioned quite a number of movies that we produce per year. Yes, unarguably, we're the second largest music production country in the world, next to Bollywood. Next is Hollywood, and you then have Bollywood, Nollywood, Hollywood in terms of quantity. Okay, and when you talk about quality, is a reversal of what we're talking about. But with all that said, our movies have been taken over by Netflix, and they're making the money. We Nigerians, who produces this film, we subscribe to Netflix to be able to watch our own movies. The same thing happens to our oil with our refineries not working. Our crude are exported, refined, and brought back to us, sold to us very exorbitantly. What kind of nation are we? It's high time we wake up, rise from our slumber and change the status quo, change the narrative, and change the way we do things. We're going to continue to do things the same way and expect different results. So until we have the right set of people, practitioners on board at the right places, to structure this industry, it'll be a difficult thing for us to achieve the right success. But I believe the future is bright because,
Yes.
we are talking now. We never used to talk. We are talking now. We're identifying where the lapses are. We're identifying the loopholes, and we have the knowledge, the skill, the experience, and the wherewithal. So we just need the right persons at the right places, to speak for the industry and put the right things in place that can work for everyone, where we can reap the reward of our hard labor. My take.
Thank you very much, Joe. I like that. But in fact, the truth is, for me, I think there's a lot to celebrate right now. There's a lot to celebrate. There's more we're expecting from the government to do. I think it's a little push. Look at what happened to the music industry. We're gonna come back and the next question I'll be asking is what's the way forward? What we want from the government or what we want from ourselves to make this become better. You've identified something. Government is losing a lot of money because if we make more films, they're gonna collect more taxes. They collected a lot of revenue. The census board collects a lot of money. People have money, they pay taxes. Even the things you buy, everything you buy, you put the money back into the economy. So the richer your citizen, the better for anything. So the government is aware of that. They need to empower us. They need to empower the industry. But before we come back to the way forward, which is something very important to us, I know Ambassador Felix is here. He covered the CIG, which is an umbrella kind of an organization that look into the welfare of everybody. Ambassador Felix, can you hear us, sir?
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, sir.
I can hear you.
Your voice is so deep, like the father talking from there. We are lawyers, sir. Say yes. Ambassador Felix, yes.
I greet you all.
Yes, sir. Yeah, quite interesting that you kind of look into more everybody in the creative industry, which is Nollywood, music, fashion, and theater. Something you guys miss a lot. I'm missing theater in Nigeria. Last time I went to Nigeria, I wanted to go to theater to actually sit down and watch a proper play. We don't have that much anymore. I'm going to bring that to the director anyway. But Victor, how is the industry generally?
Are you asking me or?
Let's hear from. Sorry, Felix. Let's hear from Felix. How is the industry in general?
Okay.
Because going back to Victoria.
Generally, I want to first of all say good evening, everyone, and it's good to see Sonny Deja, Dr. Victor. I greet you, sir. Diva Queen, Black Queen.
Yes.
I say you guys are welcome. Mr. Joe, Dr. Joe, I can see you. I must commend you, Professor Chris, for what you
I'm
do.
not professor, I'm Mr.
So I must commend this because, as the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. I like giving parables. You don't look at what you use to kill an animal, so far you kill the animal. We all are working from different directions to make sure we arrive at a final success, so to say. We are working from CIG angle. You are working from London. Dr. Victor Oka is working from his side. Diva Queen, Black Queen, she's working from our own side. And everybody, what we are trying to do is to put Nigeria on the map and set up a structure for ourselves. First of all, before I go further, I want to say this. A house that is divided against itself cannot stand. That is key to every sector, every organization, even an individual making progress. What has been our problem in the whole creative industry is cooperation. They say na cooperation rise stay full pot. Now, if we don't cooperate, most of the people in key position in government, they don't even know they are left from the right. We that are supposed to cooperate to tell them what to do, we are not cooperating. Most times you go to them, they'll tell you, you go, you're always fighting. Go and settle yourself before you come back. They always do that. And they capitalize on that to reap the industry. And when some people goes to them, they give them crops. And
Have sound issue. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but the sound issue. Go on.
Is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So when you go to them, they tell you go. And some few people go to them and they just give them crops. That's not what we want. We all should be able to come together and have one voice. If we have one voice in the industry, heaven will be our limit. The talent, we have everything that we need to grow the industry. I feel so bad that everywhere I travel to in the world, everywhere I've been to all over the world, our industry.
Okay. Okay. For some reason, the network is back and it's always doing what it does best. That was Ambassador Felix of CIG, the Creative Industry Group. He's just talking to us about the need to cooperate, I guess. Yes, I agree with him. Maybe there's need for, but I think we've already cooperated because this all this group, now the producers have come together, that is cooperation. Cooperation can always be better organized like an institution. Right now, I have somebody to talk to in the name of the director. The directors guild are together. They've cooperated. They have the leadership. The producers have the leadership. You are now in the leadership. I think that is a way. Human beings are never meant to be, even if you born the same mother, the same father, you fight sometimes. But in the midst of it, I always say to people, let's look for what we have in common. Nollywood is a blessing to Nigeria, to us all. It has sold us so much. The image of the country has been sold. Like Queen rightly said, people cannot speak our language. The reason I speak American, some people say, sorry, I don't use the word, the FU, is we learn all that from American films. Oh, some of us try to speak, hey, what's up? It's American films. And so is Nigerian film helping to sell our culture. And now, sooner or later, you see people eating amala everywhere because of the way we do it. That is the only way it works. It's the only way it works. And Nigeria, Nollywood is doing great things, and music is doing well as well. So we're grateful. The question I will ask now is, I wanted to go on a quick commercial, a quick break, and come back. Then we can focus on one thing. Joe, I just wanted to go on quickly, sir.
Just a very brief one. I think the area of cooperation that I believe Ambassador Felix is referring to is not something that should be oversighted or overlooked. As much as, you know, what you've said in terms of these various guilds being together, now, you know, there are rallying points where you have all these various, like we have Dr. Okai here, Directors Guild, Ambassador Queen, Producers Guild, you know, and perhaps Actors Guild and all of that. You know, in politics, for example, it's a game of numbers, all right? You know, I want to quickly use that as a case, as a reference point to analyze this issue of togetherness. It does not mean that these various guilds don't function or they are not delivering within their various remits. You know, but there's a need for there to be a kind of communion, you know, for them to come together. You know, the need to have a governmental representation cannot be overemphasized. And when these bodies, for example, let's look at entertainment as the body, because it talks about film, fashion, music, comedy, and all of that. They are all in the entertainment sector. Okay. Now, if everyone, if there's a rallying point for all these bodies to come together and agitate for a representation of a voice that can advocate, you know, for the interest of this entertainment industry, government would listen. You just hear something he said when they come up with something, they say, go and settle yourself. You know, there's the need to unite, the need to have a bigger picture and realize the gains that bigger picture can bring to the industry, to the entertainment industry as a whole, irrespective of whatever sector of the entertainment you're applying your trade. It's important to know that and to work on bringing that to reality so that they can be able to make that impact and have that voice. I talked about that earlier on. At the right place that can be a representative, that can speak and advocate for the interest of this entertainment industry. You know, they make laws, they make whatever. So there will be law also that can regulate, help to regulate this industry, that can also task the government to empower this industry. Year in, year out, the federal government budget for various sectors of the economy. Does the federal government budget for this entertainment industry? I've never seen it. I've never heard it.
Joe,
we have
information and culture.
Okay, you ask the practitioners now. Do they feel the pause of any budget that's budgeted for the Ministry of Information and Culture?
That's the next level of our discussion, Joe. Let's come there.
Right.
We'll get there. We'll be there. I think what you said is correct. The need to have the what I do know is as much as we want the whole industry to come together, those people in the film industry, the movie industry, they have a different understanding, they have a different market, they have a different way of, and they have a different equipment in terms of their operation. And so will be music, and so will be fashion. They are in the creative industry. I think there may be need to have one, but they still need to have this individual group. I think coming together, they can do that. Something will unite them. Something will unite us, and it's the policy, like you rightly said. But let's quickly move on. I'm going to, because one of the things I really want to trash on today is how do we achieve what we want? You understand? Now we know. And I'm going to bring this question back to Queen and then to our President Directors Guild. I want to throw the question back to two of you. Now we know our challenges. that we know that we need more funding to achieve a better result. That is established. Now, bear in mind that the government of Nigeria may not be aware of fact, like you said, you can't give what you don't have. So how do we work with the ones? It's even when God wanted to achieve certain things, he didn't say, Pharaoh, you must die. He said, Pharaoh, let my people go. You have to approach, you have to communicate. You can't force something that is with somebody. How do we achieve this with the kind of government we have? Because I think if we communicate with them in the level they understand, they will listen. I'm going to throw that to, let's start with Queen. Are you there? Queen is drinking water. Yes, I trust you. When you come out, go, we're ready. Let's go, Madam Queen.
Okay, so you're asking to know the way forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I said earlier, as a filmmaker, as a producer, the only way forward is funding. Good. And anywhere that funding is, we need to go and look for it. That's the way forward. As we are asking the Nigerian government to come on board with us, we are also going to be seeking collaborations with countries that we can get to, anywhere we can access, anywhere at all. If you say, let's go, it is go for me. I will carry my bag. Let's go and look for the money. Because at the end of the day, that is my job as the president of producers. They want to know that their president is doing everything possible to make sure that they can access grants, they can access loans that maybe 0% loan.
Of course. No, I agree completely. It has to be 0%. Sorry, Queen will be right back.
To do this film. When it comes to capacity, like I said before, we have it. When it comes to directors, we have the best directors in Nigeria. When it comes to producers, we have the best producers in Nigeria. When it comes to makeup artists, costumier, actors, we have top-notch, all these people that are doing great things. And we have a lot of films to show for it. You can take, for instance, you can talk about Amina. You can talk about Wedding Party. We've done a lot of movies that can show you that we have.
All right, that is the producers, the president of the Producers Association of Movie Producers of Nigeria, Ambassador Queen Blessing Ebiaguson. She's the one talking. The network is a little bit funny, but I'm going to wait quickly to President of the Directors Guild. He's somebody I met and I wondered, are you in Nigeria? I look at his credentials and I said, OMG, sir, don't run away from the country. That is my prayer, that he doesn't leave Nigeria, because this will be the biggest loss Nigeria will ever have. I listen to you, sir, and I don't know what to say. Anytime I listen to you, I'm listening to an authority. Authority is not only the office you hold, it's in knowledge. Knowledge is authority. That is what Dr. Victor Okai possesses. Victor, sir, now that we're here, sir, what do you think we can do with your knowledge and wisdom? Because there are two things here. We need wisdom to manage the government of the day to get what we want. What do you think is the way forward? Imam, I couldn't add you to the platform because your system is so noisy. That's the problem. That's why I don't want to add you. Anytime I add you, I hear noise. You see that? See?
Okay, let me leave this there because I would really, really love to say something. It's very important that I said something before we close.
It's very important.
Because I am of the dual, both government and the industry.
It's very important. It's very important to have your say.
Yes.
It's very, very important. Yes. We want to have you in. But if you can, no, you will stay, please. We really need you, and we need you to weigh in. But let's just, the noise is what I'm worried about. Something is bringing noise from there. Can you just manage it, and I'll bring you back?
It's my generator.
Okay, then we cannot change that. Then we have to stay. We have to deal with it. That is what Nigeria.
But when you're not talking, you can mute.
Okay,
let me go outside.
We will not see you.
Okay, just mute if you're not speaking.
No.
You are mute.
Okay.
Before I wanted the man with wisdom to speak. But okay, tell us what the government thinks, because you are from both the industry and from the government. Let's hear from you.
Okay. Good evening once again. The challenge we have in the industry is the approach to government. What we need in the industry is one voice. Like, I am at the back of the government side. Sometimes you see people will come to approach government. Some section of the industry will come to approach us, the government, and at the end of it all, some other set of people will come and turn it down. Whatever was positive, they bring it down to negative. So that we don't have one voice in the industry. That is the major problem we have. So many of the filmmakers are self-centered. So you find out that if group of people comes to approach certain things towards the government in a positive angle, you find out that some other set of people will come in to mess it up. And therefore, whenever you see us, you see that they see Nollywood coming, they will say, ah, these people have come again. So we need to change the narrative from coming in one voice and discuss our challenges in the industry with the government, and things will go on smoothly. I see a lot of letters from practitioners, not having one direction. That is the challenge we have in Nollywood. We are talented, we have a lot of prospects, but we don't know how to use it because we need government for us to progress. That is what is happening.
All right. I do. But unfortunately, when I want to talk, I may take you out because of the noise. So you just get to be patient with us so that you bear with us. All right. I think we heard from her. You see, the noise is kind of. You see, we are calm now. Anyway, we like it. That's what when you work with government and you work with Nollywood, that is what you get. You know, it's going to be nice. So we're going to bring in Dr. Victor. We are going to be with you for some time. I wish I had this interview with you alone because sometimes I really want to tap on your brain. This interview will give us all the time to do so tonight, but it'll be other time. Sir, what do you think we can do right now to move this thing forward? Because there's a lot of prospect, as she said, there's a lot of potential, there will be backbiting, a lot of challenges within us, but there is, I always say, let's look at the opportunity ahead of us. How do we tap on it right now, right here, so that our children and our children's children will not be having the same issue? Thank you, sir. Okay, your audio, sir.
You can hear me.
Yeah, better now, yes, sir.
Well, thank you very much for listening, and it's okay to say government is not doing this or that for us. It's okay to say the industry is not united, but I think rather than focus on the problem and challenges, there's a need for us to look at to be more focused on how we can be better at what we do. When Nollywood started, there was no government. What happened by no government was it didn't need government intervention when we started. When we started making the change, we discovered or created our education distribution methods and channels. We didn't really need government. As a matter of fact, government came because they saw the potential to make money out of us. And that's where they started the classification. Or censorship rather. And now they want to change the name from censorship to classification, which would have been the first place. The government is only interested in making taxes and where to make money. So if we are looking for government intervention, we everyone naira they give you, they have seen a potential naira.
Yes.
So what we need to ask from government, some of it has started already. Earlier on, we're talking about co-production system.
Yes.
There's a co-production system that exists in Africa. As a matter of fact, I'm a member of the committee that's working on that. And that's people like,
Can you put your mouth close to the phone, sir, so that we can hear you better? Yes, sir.
I'm not using the phone, I'm using an iMac.
I hear the microphone. I'm talking on the microphone, sir. Yes, sir.
So there is a co-production training that we're working on.
Better now.
Right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Co-production training we're working on right now. And so we're looking at the opportunities that, that are present. And it's baby steps. If we do that one and we succeed, we will move on to the next. But again, tax incentives are also important, but I think it's something that our companies don't have yet. The other day,
His voice is very low.
the Sao
Yes.
Paulo
Victor, when you put your mouth to face the microphone, we hear you better. When you turn like that, yes, sir. If you turn the other way, we love. Yes.
Actually, I changed from this one to the one in the system. So I
No,
don't
but
know.
when you press this one, that's when we hear you, sir.
Eh?
That's when we hear you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just the other day, a team came from Brazil, from Sao Paulo Film Commission,
Okay.
and talking about tax incentives. And I was listening to them. They will give an incentive if you're able to invest about $1 million in your project in their city. Bro, if you invest $1 million and they say they are giving a tax incentive of 10, 20, or 30%. By the time they brought $1 million into the economy, you have radically changed the economy.
That's course.
So,
Yes, sir.
what's a clever way of doing this is tax incentives would help. It would build local capacity because a lot of foreign filmmakers will come in. And of course, hotels will benefit, transporters will benefit, local actors, talents will benefit, technical benefit. So there's a whole multiplier effect. And ease of doing is you pay the everything. When you want to get visas for filmmakers to come to the country here, they are treated like suspects because they don't think they're journalists. I think they're coming to expose the state of Nigeria and all that. So there's a need equipment make heavy tariffs from equipment so that it's easier to come cheaper for us. That way we're able to apply and then do better jobs from them, better equipment. Then on the issue of we need multiple funds. We've been talking about it, talking about grants and all that. Our people have a bad habit of paying back loans. But I think that there's a way to do it that will work. It's not for this program, but I think that if we have a revolving fund and practitioners are also involved maybe on the board and all that, and it is made to work properly. But if it may be wrong, let me not even go too far. The central bank, as a matter of fact, has paid money and paid it.
Yes.
But our Turkish bank, our criminal bank, would rather use that money and trade than give it to the filmmaker and pay a small penalty. How much? If you pay a small penalty, they don't give the fund to us. They would rather pay that penalty and give that money out. So and perhaps this is where the issue of us coming together as people who run for it. As for that, I can tell you that when we're talking there, I think Joe was saying when the right leadership and I'm saying the right people are here. Ambassador Queen is, very very dynamic, you know, and very much energy. President, so she's very passionate about this industry. I am equally knowledgeable, and I think we are in a position to do.
Yes, sir.
We have a film foundation now, and where you have all the registered fields working together as one. So you can be sure that we'll start with one voice. We have started with one voice on issues that pertain to us. So the time that we find a goal is something of it. And then another thing that's very important for us, the streamers are coming in right now. Yes, they're coming in, but the truth is that as they're making money here, they're not coming here because they like us. They're coming here because of the money that they're making out of us. They are not their market in Nigeria. The market is where you get the dollars and cents, the pounds and the pesos abroad, where the diasporans are. They are the ones that do this thing. They're the ones that pay more for Netflix.
Exactly. We worship, we pay more.
We provide the raw material. We have the raw material, like our oil, this new oil. The refinery, then they collect this cocoa. They pay us to produce this thing, and then they sell, they export it. Because there are no exports, window, But these issues are going to be addressed. We know them, and we know this, and we are working towards making sure that we can bring them to the country. If at worst case scenario, pay the right amount for from our people.
Thank you, sir. I think from what I can hear, we are really near. I think the time is now. The time to achieve this is now. I cannot be more hopeful. When I look at the leadership of the today Nollywood, I have hope because, like you rightly said, Ambassador Queen is very passionate. She will say her mind. You understand? And there you see. So I don't say it because we're here. The amount of knowledge in you, the things we have, oh my God. If we harness this well and we approach like what the lady, our lady from the ministry just said, if we approach the government well, we will get a result. Because it's one thing to say, oh, they don't do this. No, have you tried it? Sometimes we don't really go for it. The question is, there's something that you ask from God, God will even refuse you. You still have to ask God in the right way. So God is the father of everybody, but some people go to bed hungry because they didn't ask well. So I think we must find a way to ask well. Very important. We find a way to ask well. And because if the government of the day find something nice and they realize that, oh, there's need to give loan for the agricultural sector for about 5% or 3% or less, then they will, if we approach them well, they will see reasons. Maybe they can't even see, they don't even know they're making money. They can't see the potential, or they can't even understand, even if it's there, that taking people off the street alone is a big thing for government. So if we present this well, government will definitely create a bank for us. And I talk about the Bank of Industry is too general, especially for Nollywood. You need your own bank. So too many things are going to come to place. And this leadership, we need to push the government to achieve that. And I'm happy. I don't know whether we're having a new government, we have a new minister who will override this. I know you guys are also talking to the Nigerian Film Corporation. Unfortunately, they've not been able to join us tonight because it is very important to have that synergy. Are we working together? Are they alien to the industry? Do they work with the industry? That's a question for another day. You understand? Because they are created to work for this industry. The question is, are they doing so? That's one thing that is we might want to address. I didn't want to make this broadcast this meeting about the Nigerian Film Fund because it is not. I really want us to share ideas on what we can do to make Nollywood a better place, and of course the other part of the creative industry. I know we can do that, and I'm really, like I said, I'm very, very hopeful, very hopeful. So I'm going to ask Queen again. Queen, you've said it before. What you want? If we should be proud first, because it's okay to come here and say all the bad things. I don't see Nollywood now say anything. I close my mouth because for some reason, some human beings took their time, went into their bank, went into cooperative, now start to make film that make my country what it is. I cannot open my mouth and say bad things about those people. Whether the films are great or not, what do you mean great? If we are now rated in the world as number 3 by any definition, don't forget, they are bigger than us. India, in terms of population, Nigeria is nothing. America is 300 and something million. We are not as big as America. And here we are. We should be proud. The pride of Africa today is actually Nollywood. So let us not look at what we're doing wrong alone. Let us fight for what we need to, so that government will know that we can be with this one. If we push it well, we will rule the world. And that is what it should be. I can predict that in the next few years, Nollywood will be the best thing that ever come from out of Africa. Quote me. Because with where we're coming from and where we are now, how many years did we make the first film Living in Bondage? Look at where we are today. They've been making films. Germans have been making films. England have been making films. They are not where we are now. Imagine where we're going. Only little injection from the government. But the question is, how do we approach government? That's the question I'm going to throw back to Queen. What do you think? This may not be the right place to do it, but we know we need to ask well. So we need to make peace.
Okay, so for me, I think I'll just touch it briefly. And I would say that the industry is trying its best. When they say we are not united, that was before. When they say there was the time where they do divide and rule, that was before. Right now, we in the industry, almost all the guilds in the industry are like under one umbrella. We kind of take decisions together, do things together. There is nothing we want to do that the other person doesn't know. We are under a body, or we are in a body called the Federation, where we have about 20 guilds. So it means that if you interface with us, you're interfacing with 20 presidents or 20 associations. And we're talking about the key associations in Nollywood. You're talking of AMP, you're talking of DGN, Directors Guild, you're talking of AGN, you're talking of TAMPAN, MOPAN, all the guilds that you can call guilds in the film industry. We're in a body where we understand each other, and where we have said enough is enough with the divide and rule that they've been doing. And Presido Victor Okai is even the vice chair of this body I'm talking about. And I mean, we're kind of trying to move things, and like I said, it's in the past now when it comes to divide and rule. And so for me, I think we already have a way forward. What we just need to do now is to put action and try to look for those things and those places that we need to go and start saying the right things and start pressing the right buttons to make sure that our voice is heard, and not just heard, and the things that we are asking for are implemented. And that's what I can say for that.
And exactly, Queen, don't forget, other than even government, there are private people who should be bringing money into the industry because they want to make more money. And they're not coming to do us favor. See, the question is, how do you package your film now to let people know that this can be money making for them? Because any businessman want to make more money. So
so like I said before earlier when I started talking, we have producers who have taken the bull by the horn, who have been able to do that very mighty quality films that have made box office, and that you can look at and say, oh, Nollywood is bankable. We have things like Anikulapo, Amina, Wedding Party, and all of those films. A lot of films are out there. And so, with that, you can tell a producer, or you can tell a businessman out there and say, look, if I have XYZ amount, I'll be able to make a film like this, and I'll be able to get money out of it. For example, this is a film that makes so amount. This is a film, but there are statistics, to show for the amount that these films have made. And so I think with that, we are able to tell, the private sectors that we are bankable. It's just for them to now have faith in us. Like the lady was saying, that's my chairman emeritus in my chapter in Abuja. What she was saying, Imabon was saying that we have this attitude of we're not kind of together. You find that somebody writes a letter to this place and find out that you have also written a letter. Instead of the person coming to say, how do we do this together? The person goes and bastardize you to make sure he gets his or her way. So most of the time when investors want to invest in filmmakers, somebody is going to say, don't try it, and all of those kinds of things. But we're definitely going to go out of that era where things like that are happening. With the body I said we now have, with the federation, I think things like that will be checkmate. And I think we are on the right path and things will begin to fall into place.
Thank you so much. And so finally, I know a couple of questions are still there for you there, but I'm going to go back to Dr. Victor. Dr. Victor, and this is one thing that our forefathers didn't do right. They did not pass some of the knowledge they have to us. Maybe, in their case, they were not able to read and write. So they could not document most of the things they had because there was some medicine they used to cure themselves, which today we don't know. They went away with them. Now that, Victor, you are knowledgeable, there's no story. I'm not going back to say it. So how do you pass on this message, this knowledge, on to the next generation so that it becomes a book? Some set of people, the Jewish, they wrote down their history and it becomes the most important book in the world, which is the Bible, because it was written down. I'm sure we in Africa have a story that could have been written down like a Bible, but we don't have. How do we today write a new Bible so that the children can look at it and learn from it? I'm going to throw this question to the doctor in the house. Doctor, sir.
Okay, first of all, twice now I've seen President drink water. Please, now your water, pass it to me. Just hand it over, hand it.
Only you drink water, President. Yes, God.
Don't stretch out.
President, don't want share.
Don't stretch out. Okay, thank you very much.
Good. This is what I know how to do this. Don't say they do film trick. Now I know how to do this one. We don't know. This is a new film trick. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
I don't want to die. My throat dry. I had to drink water.
Then your second president say, "Yeah, make a cuckoo use my style, take my own." I'm not trick. If you see
okay, so that's on a lighter note. Basically, before now, I mean, there have been several ways of recording history. First, during times or in the ancient times, in the caves, we would draw things in caves where we would, write things out for our people. First, of course, oral tradition was one of the means as well, and then eventually, papers and paper, we started documenting things on paper and all that. Oral tradition has been very, very strong, for sure. And then in modern times, we're able to do this electronically. I mean, away from books, you do that either through recordings or some video, film, or whatever it may be. We are modern historians. If you look at photographs, for instance, photographs document a moment in time in history.
That's the fact. That's it. This is a moment in history we are documenting today, sir. That's what we're doing now. This is a history we're making. Yes, sir.
So that freeze frame documents a moment in time in history. But we're able to do that through our documentaries, our films. And like Madam President rightfully observed, somehow we have been able to influence the rest of the continent and beyond. Where I am right now, today we were doing something, and I remember someone from the US, we're watching a movie, and then office, please, of course, just said, please stop, freeze that frame. What she looked at, she was looking at the beautiful architecture, she was looking at the beautiful dresses. When she was there, I was saying, wow, wow, wow. Of course, I've always known this, that people use our movies for reference material. But guess what? 200 years down the line, if you want to know how the people of this day and age ate, what they wore, what kind of houses they lived in, the most reliable place is to look back and see our families, look at other news pieces and items and all that. And that is why it is important what we put out there. I would say that there is what I would consider some sort of cultural neo-colonialism by Nigerian filmmakers or Nigerian films now of the rest of Africa. Pidgin English, for your information, now an official language recognized by the Oscars in the language category. It's recognized now the foreign language by the Oscars.
Okay.
BBC Pidgin English. Yes. I can tell you that nothing else can influence all of this. Okay? So across the other day, I was in South Africa, here in Nigeria, and she said she wanted to introduce me to her friend in Johannesburg who speaks Nigerian Pidgin, but I've never been to Nigeria. Bro, I spoke Pidgin with, if you hear the way she speaks Pidgin with all the nuances,
wow.
And I said, you have never been to Nigeria? She said, no, never. But you know, she went to Nigeria movies. The same way some never left Nigeria but can think about the US, they see them speak with American accents and all that. That is how powerful the tool that we have in our hands are. We need to recognize it because we use it to shape perception, we use it to shape, perception on the one hand, and then we also use it to influence other people one way or another. You remember when we used to do all the spiritual movies and the rest of Africa was scared of us like the rest of the world was scared of Americans with their weapons of mass destruction. But back here, it was they were scared of they would ask us, do your people really disappear? They really talk to you and all this. So we have a very powerful tool in our hands. And with it, we're able to document not just people and not just for people outside our environment, but for posterity, who we are, what we are, and the things that are happening behind this and
Thank you, sir. Well, you said it all. You said it all. You said it all. And I'm happy I'm closing this last minute with two of you. You see, what I'm going to close, final question this evening is, you see, perhaps one big message I was thinking is, we've done well. We as a people, we've done well. Nigeria is great. Look at the amount of talent, the amount of things we can do. But yet people still talk down on us. How do we allow that? Even to the extent now we don't even trust ourselves. There are so many things, so many instances I'll be afraid to touch upon here. And it hurts, which come back to the issue. You mentioned the issue of the economy. I want to talk about the image laundering, which movie has done. But do we feel that confident? If we feel the confident, do we love this country where we come from? Because if we love Nigeria, then we can have more confidence. Or how do we grow? The thing is there. We're great people, but we don't feel it. We don't say it. We don't exhibit it. We allow people to talk us down. Nigeria is criminal. Nigeria is this. Nigeria is that. An American actor like Arnold Schwarzenegger will never curse America in a movie. That movie will never be released. So in terms of image of the country which is dead outside, how do you, people in the industry, you've done well, how are you trying to address that? That our movie will now begin to represent us positively. I know movie have to do to correct some of the wrongs, but you're selling it to the rest of the world. They're not selling their dirty linen outside. Imagine if we all go outside naked. We have to dress in the morning, cover ourselves before we come out. So some of the things we need to cover it as well. So and how do we address that in the movies? That's why I talk about the issue of education. How do we pass on down to filmmakers who are those of you in the creative sector and make decisions, even when the film will not sell all, but this film needs to be made. I use one word. There are some people that make film that should be made. There are some people that make film people want to see, or people should see. The one people should see, they always don't make the money that people want to see. So there are some film people want to see, but there are some film people should see. How do you make that balance, sir? Especially in this critical time when Nigeria image needs to be restored.
Okay, maybe I should allow Madam President to speak first.
Yes. How do we
Okay,
address
so I'm sure why Presido passed it to me is that sometimes we producers can be stubborn. Even when the director is saying, no, let's not push out this content, producer is saying, no, now my film, you have to push it out like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so the thing is, I always tell people, for instance, I don't make movies that don't have moral lessons. I like making movies that when you finish seeing, you're taking something home. And a movie that our kids are going to see, and there's nothing, you're not going to be finally looking for the remote to quickly switch it off because a child is coming or because of something like that. And so for me, first of all, is what impact am I going to make with this film I want to make? So how many lives, how many people, what are my target, who are my audience? That's first of all the thing I think about. But there are producers who just want to make movies just because they want to make money. And just because they want to chase clouds and they want to blow. Because there are some movies you make, trust me, it will not get the mileage some other nonsense movie are going to get. When I say nonsense, I mean content that it's not making any impact, but you see it's noise, but people are talking about it. You know, and so for that type of producers, all that matters to them is the money. And that is why we have bodies like Censor's Verge to kind of classify these films for us. Because whether we like it or not, we would always have producers who will make movies just because of the money. And they will just push out anything at all there. So we have regulatory bodies that will tell us that, okay, this film, because it's like this, only people that are 21 and above can see it. Only people that are 18 and above can see it. That way they are helping us also to make sure that our children are not exposed to the things that they are not supposed to be seeing. So because like I said, you can't stop a producer from making whatever is in their head to make. They will just make it anyway. It depends on what their vision is. And some of us are just making films because of money. Some of us are making because we want to make an impact, we want to leave a legacy. And so there's no way of telling anybody don't do it. A director can advise, an actor can also advise, anybody can advise, but will the producer listen? No. At the end of the day, he or she tells you, it is my film and this is how I want it. So we'll definitely have these producers that will do whatever they like. But we have the regulators there to tell them, this is how this film is going to be classified, or you must remove this scene from this film before it goes out. And sometimes they even remove these scenes and the films are censored, and after it's censored, they put the thing back into it. So it's a lot of cleaning up that we need to do moving forward. But who can do it is the same producers that can sit down and tell themselves, we need to portray our country the way we want people to perceive us. Because you dress the way you want to be addressed. And if you want to naked your country for people to see how naked your country is, then that's your cup of tea. At the end of the day, you're affecting everybody, but you're making the money, but everybody is suffering for it. Somebody will tell you when you travel with a green passport, is a problem. They'll put you in a line and start searching you all over the place because of that green passport. And sometimes it's because of the too much cocaine that they show in movies that Nigerians are carrying. And a lot of too much babalawo they show that Nigerians are. It's like almost every Nigeria does juju because of what they portray in our film. But if you really look at it these days, most of the films that our producers are making, it has now reduced. You find out that people are really not making ritual killing movies anymore as they used to make it. So it will come to a time where producers will begin to give themselves sense and say, look, this is not, it shouldn't be business as usual anymore. We should start making films that can only tell good things about our country, about our culture, about ourselves. And it will get there one day, but are we there yet? No, but we're working towards it.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from the creative gurus, and then we'll let you go tonight because we've been here for over 1 hour, 30 minutes now.
You know what they say? You put your money where your mouth is.
Yes.
Again, he is by the takes the tune.
That's true.
Maybe I'll start with the pays the piper. Right
Yes.
now, if Netflix is to commission a movie, they will determine what goes into the script. You may come with your story, they look at it, it doesn't get paid. And if we're not careful, it gets to the time where now they say if your movie does not have is not does not have a bit of LGBT or whatever it is, you cannot. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. But the point I'm trying to make is not by way of example now, not anything whether for it is, but whoever holds the purse string begins to determine, what direction. Some people may say, I want something that has inclusiveness or gender balance, or I want something more feminine. But to do that effectively, their money will speak to them. Okay? So
Yes.
if we want certain kind of movies, then we must find a way to influence those kind of movies. Okay? And how do you do that? There must be incentives
Agree.
or rewards for good behavior.
Yes.
Not talk about punishment for bad behavior.
Yes.
Why do I say? You may the police, for instance, they may give access to wholesome movies, access to anything or to any movie that will promote very positive and good light. The guy said, come, we'll give you equipment, we'll back you up, and all that. That
It's an incentive.
which
Yes.
means if you want a movie that has very high budget and all that, then they have all of this then you will tailor your script in a way that they would, because they have something to give. Okay? That's what happens when you give grants. When people give you money to make films, they give you money to make the kind of films that they would like to see. They don't give you money to make films that they don't want to see. That's why I find producers also decide, look, I want something that will make money. What makes money? Wherever it goes, wherever they think they can make money, they will do that. You cannot tell them don't make. Of course, there are certain things that may be out and out.
Yes.
This is it. But generally, they are not pastors. And movies are not. It's not church. If you say someone, you go to church. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. However, there's a moral burden and responsibility on us to be able to shape, like I said earlier, perceptions, to influence other people and to generally transform society. We go as generations to come that respect. However, we need to start being intentional, not just by talking to ourselves, but also the powers that be that want to do the same kind of thing. I want to encourage this kind of thing. Can put incentives to encourage that kind of things that we want to see. If, for instance, at the Zuma Film Festival or any of the by Nigerian Film Corporation or any of the film festivals, there's a cash reward for movies that produce Nigeria.
Exactly.
Maybe the cash reward of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million.
Exactly.
This year, the next set of movies for the next 1 year will be targeted movies.
That's how kind of thing. I agree. I agree.
Things that can be done. You reward what you want.
Yes.
And so you basically, I have to get the job too.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. You know, what a way to end this show, because this is it. Government, it's not enough to just set up a body to stop. Hey, when you want to make film, if you make this kind of film, we won't let it. It's not going to fly because they want to make money, they want to survive. You see, you put your mouth, Dr. Senator, you put your mouth where your money is. You can't be putting your mouth where your money is not. Please, government, let us do this. And as much as I want to beg filmmakers that there's something, you have a weapon with your hand. I always describe it. Every language we use in movies, it all comes from real life. You know, the blonde. We say that blonde is the color of the blonde hair. You understand? And one thing we use a lot. Say we're going to shoot a film. Only two things can shoot in this world. Camera can shoot a film. Gun can shoot. Both of them can kill. And both of them can protect. You can use the gun to protect somebody. You can use the camera to protect somebody. So you as a filmmaker, you have a weapon that you must, if you carry a gun, you are not bound to behave. You must behave morally. So if you carry the camera, you must be moral in your behavior. That being said, government, listen, you cannot tell people, make this kind of film, portray the good image of my country, which is what you're supposed to do, if you have no incentive for them. Like what Dr. Vito just rightly explained. The burden to move Nigeria to the next level is on every one of us. We're gonna try as filmmakers to approach the government well with good initiatives. I have hope because from what I see, I'm very excited. And we're gonna approach the government will listen to us. Because I think any government in Nigeria do want change. They may not know how to do it. So together now, we're going to have a meeting and also try and approach the government the right way so that we can create an industry not only to feed the country, but to portray the good image of the country called Nigeria. No, it's I would like to end the show by saying that I want to throw this to the filmmakers as well. Nigeria is suffering. And the reason why Nigeria is suffering, Nigeria is like a baby suffering as we are fighting. It's a sad thing that I've not seen much film being made about it because we see the North and the South, the Muslims and the Christians fighting. At the end of the day, one person is suffering. That person is Nigeria. And it will be wrong to continue to fight, not thinking of the person that is suffering. It's like two parents are fighting at home. The children are not happy. See, Nigeria is a Muslim, Nigeria is a Christian. Nigeria is an Hausa man, it's a Yoruba man. Nigeria is everybody. So when you fight an Hausa man, you're fighting Nigeria. When you fight a Yoruba man, you're fighting Nigeria. When you fight a Muslim, you're fighting Nigeria. When you fight a Christian, you're fighting Nigeria. So this is something we need to understand, that we need to love Nigeria because only Nigeria is what that carries us to the next level. If you say you don't care about Nigeria, the next time you want to travel, where's your passport? It's the green passport. The government chose the school your children can go to. Government is so important that we, as a country, the country is so important in our lives. We need to make it better. Perhaps what the white people have done well is they believe in the country. So they build their country to serve the people. But we in Africa, we still believe in people who are going to serve all of us. No, the society serve, the country serve us. And I pray we get there and with the leadership of people that can change the mentality. That's why I have this meeting with you. You are the people that can change. You are like feeding us. We are born with blank slate. What we watch shape us. A child born is born blank. Every day he's learning new things. That child begin to learn. So what you feed us, the movies, the information you give to us, it's what makes us who we are. So please give us the right food so that we can turn out to be better people. I'm saying this to the two most important people in the industry here. Those that are producing the power and those that actually do the creativity. I'm begging. Give us so that we become better people. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. And really blessing. And we hope to see each other soon in London. Then we're going to eat. You bring Nigerian food. I'll give you Turkish food sometimes. So we'll show you different culture. I will do it here in London.
I'm not talking about the London conference. We did everything. We didn't tell people. We didn't
I intentionally didn't want to make it about the Nigerian conference, but just yes, I want you guys to know that the whole of Nigeria is coming. We're going to meet in London to discuss the way forward for the Nigerian film industry. And the two most important people will be with me. When I have Queen and I have the president, then I'm full. We're going to discuss with lots of industry professionals. We'll invite other people to come and share ideas with us. But we're going to make this Nigeria own. And this is what I beg you people. We cannot copy everything from them because the Igbo apprenticeship system is said to be the most successful in the world. So we cannot just go and copy what is failing. The film industry in UK is a failure. We don't copy it, but there's something good about it that can add to this our own, which is already effective, and we will rule the world. So I think that is one area where I will let the president of Directors Guild to close the show for us with the last thing, what he has to say for Nigerians.
Well, I'll say this. The future is bright. The future is now. Let us step in and take over. I'll see you all at the great talk.
Exactly. Queen, you are the queen, you are our president, and we are privileged. It's a luck. You see, when I hear you talk about film, the voice is loud, but the knowledge is there. You got the experience. We are privileged to have you. So
Thank
please,
you.
so what message would you have to say to those who want to be like you? One, you are a woman, you represent a different, you understand? It's so important to have a woman heading us at this stage. It shows we are moving in the right direction. So, Queen, what do you have to say to fellow ladies out there? To be fair, Nollywood women are now making great films. But what do you have to say to our ladies and the industry in general? Yes.
I think that as women, we should know that we are builders, we are homemakers, we are country builders, we are the world builders, or how will I speak this English now? Bottom line is that we build, we don't destroy. And so whatever is placed in our hands, we must kind of nurture it and make sure that it's better than how it was handed over to us in the first place. I don't know if I should say I'm privileged to be the only female president in Nollywood. I'm protected by all the men in Nollywood. It can be intimidating. But again, the fact that all of them are my brothers, most of them are my big brothers. I don't even think anyone is my younger brother among them, because I'm kind of even maybe the youngest president in Hollywood as well. So I'm learning from them. They're learning from me. I'm not a proud person. I'm not too shy to ask questions. I'm not too shy to ask for help. And that is why you see that it's easy for me to really navigate and kind of do my job well. Because each time I have issues, I just call any one of them and say, hey, what do you think? And they tell me, and we talk about things. And I am not in competition with any association. I'm running mine, they are running theirs, we're sharing ideas. Bottom line is that Nollywood belongs to all of us, and we must make it greater than what it is. And so for us to do that, we must see ourselves as, you know, the industry belongs to all of us. Nobody is superior. We must see ourselves as we must, you know, begin to look at what are we leaving for the people coming? You know, not what can we get? It shouldn't be what can we get. It should be what legacies are we leaving. So we must come with a clean hand, a clean heart, ready to mingle, ready to serve, ready to understand the industry and also ask questions. So, and that's what I bring to the table. And I think every president understands my body language, and they know that yes, Queen is here to serve, and she will serve as best as she can. And you know, we should all support each other. So for me, I think that women should begin to understand that men are not our competition. Men are supposed to be that very strength that we need, no matter what. Anyhow, it does not have to be your husband, your boyfriend, or your fiance, or whatever. Any male figure supposed to be somebody you should lean on for support, for help, rather than go into competition with that man. I mean, just use whatever it is, use your wisdom to get whatever thing you want to get from him. And that's what I'm doing. Like I said, everybody is my friend, and all the presidents they all love me, and you know, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, women should come on board and let's do this together. They should not be shy. They should not be afraid to stay behind. They need to come. The men are not chasing us away. The men want us to be in the picture. Trust me, they want us to be in the picture. As a lot of support I've gotten so far since I became president tells me that the men are not seeing us as competition. They want us to be in the picture. So more women should come on board, and let's take Nollywood to the next level.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's a big message. We should all come on board and take Nollywood to the next level. You know, like I said, I am excited. It's a wonderful time to be alive, honestly, to witness what is going on and know that this is what we're leaving for our children, because they're going to take this. Imagine where we met Nollywood. You've taken it to the next level. Imagine what these guys will do with it. You know, you should be proud of what we've done. And the kids are now learning. The children in UK, They now know they have a home in Nigeria because of Nollywood. They now know they have a home in Nigeria because of music. They now know they have a home in Nigeria because of what the fashion has become. Thank you very much. Thank you, my two presidents, for joining me tonight. And thank you for what you've done for the industry. And thank you for what you're going to do next. You might not get paid. You can't. Nobody can pay you for this. But you know what? There's a prize somewhere that is bigger than all this, and that is your name. The name is there. Protect it. It's God-given, and we're very proud of you. Thank you so much again for joining me. Thank you so much.
Everything happens for a reason. Bless life from a different prison. Bless a lot of people locked up in bedtimes having a.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ice Prince of mine.
Ginger, aka Swagga Swagga. My name is Narusha Femi, aka the Music and Taliban.
What up, Nigeria? K to the O to the NGA Conga.
Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night. The Afrobeat Night.
Afrobeat Night.
Nigerian Week in London.
The Nigerian Week.
The Nigerian Week. The Nigerian Week.
On the 19th of this beautiful month of May 2023.
May 19th.
May 19, 2023. Let's go get your ticket.
Go get your ticket because we're gonna shut it down.
Ice Prince of money's in the building.
Yeah.
Go get your tickets. If you don't get your tickets, now you sabi. Okay, I'm back with a flow, no joking. You gotta muscle up, cause no pain, no gain. All the boys just wanna jump, it's okay, I'm blessed.
Yes, please go get your ticket. The Nigerian Week is here. I have to make this announcement. I wanted to close, but I have to make this announcement. The Nigerian Week starts on the 18th, and the 18th is the Nollywood Day. That is what you see. All these brains will be in London to discuss Nollywood. We're going to have a film festival the same day, food and film festival. We're going to eat Nigerian food and have a good time. So that's on the 18th, and there's a lot of music. And the second day is when you hear them, Conga, the big boys, going to rock the floor. That's one thing that has brought us really in the limelight. Music. Even when we were taken as slave, music saved us. Because the only way, that's the origin of jazz. African black people were created. So please, on the second day, we're going to celebrate that, our music talent. Finally, on the 20th, which is the big day, we're going to recognize some Nigerians who have done well. And then that's a miss of everybody coming together. You can't miss it. So on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we're talking some few days from now, everybody will descend London to celebrate who we are as a people. Nigeria, be proud. Stop. I know there are things that are wrong. Yeah, everybody have what is wrong. Even in this country where I live, not everybody, they don't agree with one another, but they move on. Nigeria need to move on. We don't have to agree, but let's have a focus. Is this where we're going? As long as we are going in the same direction, that's fine. We don't have to agree, but we're going the same way. Nigeria is going to prosperity. There will be issues. We will solve them, but we are moving forward. I beg one thing in this show. Nigeria must not break. It's time to fight for the United States of Africa, not to fight for a divided Nigeria. I am begging. It is time to fight for the United States of Africa, not for a divided Nigeria. And we need one currency for Africa so we can compete. The way the euro now defeat the dollars. If we have one currency in Africa, our currency will defeat every money on earth. Repeat, every currency on earth will be lower than our money. That's where we're going, and we're going to get there. That's the future of our children. We're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for our children. So when I talk to you tomorrow, let's be talking about the United States for Africa. They've started with the African Union. I'm not going to say much about that tonight because the beginning was Organization of African Unity. That was not good enough because it was just unity. What is unity without economy? That's why we have African Union. But what we really want to have is the United States for Africa with one currency that can control us. Thank you very much for joining me. Once again, my name is Daddy Chris, and this is SR TV. Is this one of his broadcasts? You don't have this always. I have the privilege to be joined with this talent. I hope you have them tonight. I know this broadcast will stay long. It will stay long. It will stay long. Thank you for joining me once again.